Today, as you've seen, I have a few examples from Austria, what Brexit means in real life. And here's another one. Brexit took place on January 31st, 2020, and since January 1st, 2021, the UK is no longer part of the EU internal market. What has dragged on since the UK referendum in June 2016, such as properly preparing a fish pie, is now actually a reality. The new normal in relations between the UK and the EU also has an impact on football. The new transfer regulations have been in effect since the turn of the year. These also affect Austrians and Austrian clubs if they want to process changes. But how do the new rules work? What do they mean for potential Austrian football legionnaires and the Bundesliga clubs? What problems does this create and what are the chances? FIFA regulates the transfers of underage players worldwide, and the requirements are clear. A player may only be transferred internationally if he's at least 18 years old, says the infamous Article 19. The World Association usually takes a very close look, and if the regulations are disregarded, transfer bans are sometimes imposed. That is the reason why FC Red Bull Salzburg, for example, only guides talents from Mali and Ghana to Mozart City at the age of 18. However, this FIFA rule does not apply within the EU. The free choice of residence and place of work within the European Union cancels FIFA's transfer restrictions. EU citizens can be transferred within the EU from the age of 16. As long as Great Britain was part of the EU, English clubs were able to secure talent from the age of 16. Goalie Daniel Bachmann was around 17 years old when he switched from the Academy of Vienna, Austria, to the offspring of Stoke City. At the age of 16, Andreas Weimann moved from SK Rapid to the talent factory at Aston Villa. There are several other examples of this type. In the meantime, such changes are no longer possible. In the other direction, as it was recently very popular with German Bundesliga clubs, it's of course no longer possible. Borussia Dortmund can no longer secure 17-year-old Jadon Sancho, as was the case in 2017. It gets more complicated when it comes to the classic transfers, so the change of adult professional players. While the transfer of EU citizens to the island has so far not posed any problems due to the already mentioned EU law, it was a little different for footballers from non-EU countries. The receiving association had to demonstrate that its potential newcomer was of the appropriate quality. In this context, international matches were an important factor. If necessary, an independent committee made a decision. In the course of Brexit, the clubs and association agreed on an objective system. A point system was created. It's about playing times in championships and the European Cup, the quality of the respective competitions, international matches, and so much more. A player needs 15 points to get a work permit on the island. Originally, the association wanted to set the hurdle even higher with 19 points, the clubs much lower with 9 points. The result is a compromise that will be re-evaluated after 1 year. There are several ways to earn points. And there are also criteria that are referred to as autopass. If they are met, nothing stands in the way of a transfer. When it comes to working times, the past 12 months are usually used as the calculation period. If a player is used regularly, there are more points. It is calculated in percentages and increments of 10. For example, if a club played 1,000 minutes in the championship in the calculation period and the kicker was only in action for 150 minutes, it played 15% of the possible game minutes. If a player is injured or suspended, the club's game minutes are not counted during this time. A brief overview of the most important ways to collect points is what I've got now for you. I know it's a bit much, but try to bear with me. The average world ranking over the past 12 months determines how many points are awarded for international matches. In the top 10 nations, 30% of the minutes are enough for an auto pass. In the top 20 nations, 40%, in the top 30 nations, 60%, and in the top 50 nations, still 70%. As a rule, only competitive games are charged. Costa Rica, Egypt, Jamaica, and Iran are currently among the top 50 in the world rankings. To put it simply, anyone who is a regular in the A team in relatively large nations can also move to the island. Club matches and national appearances also matter. In the point system, the national championships are divided into so-called bands. A higher band means more points. And that's how it's divided. The band 1 is England, Germany, Spain, Italy, and France. Band 2 is Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Turkey, and England too. Band 3 is Russia, Brazil, and Argentina, Mexico, and Scotland. Band 4 is Czech Republic, Croatia, Switzerland, Ukraine, Greece, Colombia, USA, Austria, France 2, Spain 2, Germany 2. Band 5 is Serbia, Denmark, Poland, Slovenia, Chile, Uruguay, and China. And Band 6 is all other leagues. The Austrian Bundesliga is in Band 4. A maximum of 6 points can be collected purely through working times. Anyone who has completed less than 60% of the possible playing time does not get any point. In addition to playing time, a player can also collect points if his club is successful. These points are distributed in the Austrian Bundesliga. For national championship, for example, in addition to playing time, a player can also collect points if his club is successful. These points are distributed in the Austrian Bundesliga. While there are already points in the big leagues for a place in the middle of the table, in Austria it's very difficult to collect points in this way. But there is a curiosity. There are points for climbers. In the past 12 months, a player from F.A.Z. has collected 2 points as a member of a club from Band 6. 1 for the championship title, 1 for promotion. A LASK player, on the other hand, would have come away completely empty-handed. There's another possibility. Points for the quality of the current club. These points are awarded to those who have been in the matchday squad at least once in the past year or have played at least 1% of the minutes played in the cup. So, practically everyone. Anyone who does not play internationally with their club in Austria does not qualify for the Champions League and also does not play any international matches and still can switch to England. And this also includes the leagues under the Premier League. The European Cup, on the other hand, offers further opportunities to collect points. The Champions League is classified as Band 1. The Europa League is Band 2. Again, there are points for the individual working time and the success of the team. In the Champions League, points are awarded from 30% of the operating time, in the Europa League from 50%. There are also points from participating in the group stage. In the Champions League, 5 points, in the Europa League, 2 points. Anyone who is a regular player in Austria also needs appearances and successes in the European Cup or international matches in order to receive a work permit on the island. For example, it will be practically impossible for players from the second German league to make the leap to England. Players who are under 21 years of age at the time of applying for a work permit have a number of other options for collecting points. From junior national teams to national junior championships, B teams of the Bundesliga clubs, extra points for debuts at the professionals to the UEFA Youth League. Anyone who regularly competes in the U21, U19 or U17 European Championships qualification will receive 5 points. But that can be too little. Moving to the island is therefore no longer that easy. A little more than a year ago, Christoph Monschein, for example, was still associated with Aston Villa, but he is currently unable to make the change. It must be emphasized once again that this is not only about a work permit in the Premier League, but also in the Championship, that means the second highest English league. Bundesliga legionnaires have found jobs there over and over again. At the same time, clubs from the Bundesliga can also see the new transfer restrictions as an opportunity. If an English club secures the rights to a talent who is not yet allowed to play on the island, it could not only collect much practice in Austria, but also the necessary points. Players from Denmark, Serbia or Poland will find it difficult to get the necessary points in their home country due to the lower rating of the league. A club from Austria active in the European Cup could help out. And so that might even bring a little bit more cooperation for the smaller leagues in continental Europe. So that might be one of the upsides then of Brexit, even if those players can't go to the UK. And I know I went a bit further away. I had football stories before, and I thought this is interesting as well. And so I had to do it. There will be more videos today if you're not interested in football at all. But I definitely will come back to that. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. Auf Wiedersehen.